Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you. And it's for Thursday, March 4th, 20th day of Adar. Here we go. Today, I'm going to read you some halachas, and you won't exactly see these in the Shulchan Aruch. You know how I often like to take you to the Shulchan Aruch? These are more like the modern vessels that we find in our electronic kitchens of today, and to know what to do with them for koshering them. So I've got some guidelines here from the OU on what you should do with. Here we go. The hot water urn that you use in your kitchen all year. So these are the guidelines that are written in the OU kashrus guidelines, and they are that if it's a hot water urn that you only use for hot water, then they say that it is fixable for you to use that over Pesach. All you got to do is run the hot water through the spout for 10 seconds while simultaneously pouring boiling water over the spout. Be careful not to hurt yourself while doing this, but if you got this spout going, yeah, you better not have your finger on that spout, come to think of it. I guess you could hold the spout open with a stick or something, and then while the hot water is coming out of the spout, also pour boiling water over it. That would make the hot water urn fine for Pesach use. But a lot of people have the habit of using their hot water urn. They'll warm up a kugel on top of it on Shabbos morning or a challah or something. So the guidelines that the rabbis are saying for that is do not use that urn on Pesach, period. It was in contact with chametz, and no, you should not use it. I want to just add in here on my own, I go out on a limb and say this to you. If you know that you've had little ramen noodle soups or something, and you've been sticking them right under the spigot of that hot water urn all year long, and so you've had hot chametz soup like right there up at the nozzle, you better speak to your rabbi about that. Sounds shaky to me. Um, but the guidelines that we just said here were for a hot water urn that just does hot water, and it just pours out hot water into cups. Then you could kosher it in that way. I'm just adding in here if you feel that it's been real, and if, like we just said, if it had challah on top of it, forget it. Don't use it on Pesach. I'm just adding in here if it's been real close to your ramen soups all year long, and my gosh, the steam from the ramen soup came up right up at that nozzle of that. You better discuss that with your rabbi. Okay, and lastly, if you have a water cooler that you use all year long, just cold water comes out of it if it's that kind, then what you could do is just, again, pour boiling water over the spigot of the water cooler and replace the big water bottle that was being used from before Pesach. Put a fresh one on there for Pesach and the boiling water on the cold water spigot, and then you're going to be fine to use that water cooler throughout Pesach. Again, I'm going to just insert my 2 cents and say you also have to know how you use that water cooler. If you know your kids often, I don't know, have their oatmeal right up next to it and they cool off their oatmeal with water, then again, you better discuss that with the rabbi because that sounds problematic. So, note how you use it. And if you use it clearly just hot water or clearly just cold water and it has no attachment to any food in any way, shape, or form, then it may be kosherable. I would be most comfortable if you would discuss these matters with your rabbi. We just like to educate here. And thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye bye.